shifts terribly. It's time to fix it.
But I don't have any parts.
I took the liberty to go online and get you the parts. Here we have a Berg shifter, rear coupling, and plastic bushing. Now get out there and fix it.
Okay, I'll go outside and do it. Doesn't seem very respectful. So Clinton is right. The shifting in the Raven is terrible, and it's long overdue that I did something about it. So that's what I'm going to devote myself to today. Okay, it's my understanding that if I'm going to remove the front shift rod, I'm going to have to take off the front bumper and 3 access plates, if they're all there. Okay, those bolts are out. Should just be able to pull the bumper off, and here it is. It looks like if there's supposed to be a front access plate here that is missing, but I don't see any bolts or screw holes here, so maybe there's not supposed to be one on this 66. But there's one here, and I assume there's one behind that. Let's get that out and see what's behind it. It was on there really good. I managed to get it off. Yay. That one didn't want to come out either. One off of there. There. Ooh. There's that. And here's that rubber gasket I got a replacement for from Wolfsburg West, whether I need it or not. It's time to get to the rear of the Raven and get into this access plate here so I can get to the shift coupler. This one doesn't have its screw in it, so I think I can just pull it out, and I can. Looks like that hasn't been changed in quite a while. I'll do a little experiment and see how well it shifts. Not bad. Okay, first things first, let's try to get this safety wire out of here. All right, that's out. Unscrew this bolt, because that is what is attaching the coupler to the rear portion of the rod there. I've got a replacement for this too. So this is an 8mm bolt here, kind of a weird other side here. Not really a bolt end, but this kind of split thing. I'm just going to stick a screwdriver down there and hope that holds. All right. But I got this out. Here's the whole assembly. My understanding is you can just sort of push this as far as you can. All right. Just try to work that forward as far as we can. There, it's getting caught on something. What could it be? Let's go to the front and find out. Can you see it? Right there. See if I can reach in there, get a hold of it and pull on it. And I can. And there we are. That bushing is history. I suspected that would explain a lot of the slop that I was experiencing while shifting. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this the rest of the way out. And it's out of there. Woohoo. So here are the remnants of that little plastic bushing and the metal ring. Really nothing left on here. All right, here is the old rusty shift rod. It needs to be cleaned up with sandpaper. Okay, I got it cleaned up. I took a wire brush, a couple grades of sandpaper, and then wiped it down with some solvent. There's a few marks on it, but that's basically pitting in the metal. All the rust is gone. It's in pretty good shape. I think I'm ready to put it back in. All right, I've got the plastic bushing and the little metal ring. I think I'm gonna put a little grease on it. Try to slip it into place here. Okay, the word on YouTube is you don't want to paint this rod, you just want to put a coat of grease on it. So that's what we're going to do. All right, we'll leave some grease off at the very end here, but we'll get the rest of it. Okay, I want to show you what I did here. I took a couple zip ties and put them together and stuck them down there in the hole in the tunnel so that it would catch the shift rod as it passed through. Now that wasn't a completely easy fit. Whenever the shift rod met the bushing, I had to do some pushing from the outside. Okay, it's in place here and then back. It took a little more arranging than I would have expected. I had to push the rod in and out, well, about a dozen times before it fit comfortably and really slid all the way to the back. I kept getting caught about where the emergency brake lever went down in the tunnel. I had to take my screwdriver and kind of push the rod down with one hand and a pair of pliers like this on the other hand and push the rod through to get it to work. Okay, it's time to reassemble, and I have a choice to make. So here are the choices. I've got the original coupler, and I've got two Chinese aftermarket couplers. I like the original a lot. I cleaned it up, and it was my plan initially to reuse it. I got a better look at these pieces of rubber here on the end, and I could see some cracking here where the bolt goes through. So I think it's just a matter of time before these fail, and why go through the trouble of restoring and refreshing a shifting system only to build in a problem you know exists. I do like the metal on this one. I think it's a higher quality metal than the aftermarket couplers. Really like the idea of using the original. I'm not so fond of this bolt and screw system. It's pretty clunky. And I got to looking at these parts, and there are pieces of these aftermarket couplers that I like better than the original. But I do like the bolt here, these two bolts that kind of feed into each other in the washers, like that better than the original. And fortunately, these ends fit into the original. So here's what the new coupler looks like. It's got the original metal core, and it's got the newer rubber or plastic bits on the end, new bolts all around. I like it. And I've got these two others here that I think one is completely viable and the other would do in a pinch. I'll just throw those into the surplus. We are about ready to try to get this, all of this, back together. All right, put that in. Let's try to get this little bolt started. If we can do that, I think that we're almost there. There. Get this little bolt in there. All right, let's try to get this tightened up. There. I'm happy with that. Yay. Okay, we're almost there, I hope. I got the Gene Berg shifter. I'm going to try to put it in now. Here's the old. This was installed upside down. I expect there's going to be some improvements. I think I'm going to put a little bit of grease down here before I put the Gene Berg shifter in. One thing to notice is that this shifter has its own locking plate that came with it, so I don't need to use the stock one. Okay. Just tighten it a little bit just to get it in place, and then we can adjust it. Okay, I really want to test this shifting, but I got these dogs on my lap. So it's going to be a little challenging. I'm going to try to do it anyway. Here we go. We're in neutral now. First. Second. Third. Fourth. Man, that is smooth. And reverse. Wow. Those are short throws and it's super smooth. Let's do it one more time. First. Second. Wow, I can just barely put any pressure on it and shift. Fourth. And neutral here. Reverse. I can't even put it in reverse unless I push that button. I love that. That's a huge improvement. It's the first time you guys have hung out in the bug with me. There you go. Oh. You like the bus, but you kind of shied away from the Beetle. He must be really desperate for attention today.
12 o'clock midnight.
Well, I think today was really successful. I have to admit, I'm a little bit worried about Clinton's attitude. It's kind of aggressive.
I'm sure it's nothing, honey.
Hey, you're probably right. Well, good night.
Now get out there and fix it. Fix it. I spy a slacker. Yeah, you. Come back here and fix the Raven. Fix the Raven.
Fix the Raven!
Fix the Raven. Go fix the Raven.
Go fix the Raven now!
Oh, thank God it was just a dream.